here's the thing with bottle babies. When your gates keep the mom in, but won't contain these little midget animals. The little ones tend to follow you everywhere because they love you and they just want milk all the time. And Antonio is, he's not even the one that feeds them, which is funny, but they follow him everywhere. Look. He just got finished taking down, well, most of the drywall from this wall here. As you see, there's still some there. And he's taking out the drywall and these two. Oh! Somebody must have got a door slammed on them. Oh my goodness. What are you guys doing? What are you doing? I know. I heard someone got smacked by the door. Hey friends, Jennifer here with Moreau Family Farm. This video is going to be a little bit on the longer side. There is a lot of stuff that's been going on in the house and I want to just kind of include it all in one video rather than doing a bunch of separate videos. So follow along and watch our progress as we continue with the demo of the house and hopefully getting it put back together again. So far in the last couple of days, Hope has been in here, Bella has been in here, and now these two are in here. Everything is still such a mess. We have this is my new cooking area. So even when it's like, 40 or 50 degrees outside, I'm out here cooking, running back and forth. If you guys are wondering, so our fridge is over here. I've been doing dishes in the bathroom, but the cool thing about this, I will say, is this sink is a nice big farmhouse sink. So this has been fantastic. I mean, look, it's a really, really big sink. So it has been great. Trying to stay on top of everything, putting it away. Between using our table for storage, we pulled this out for some extra storage. That is not milk in that cup, it's rice. It's just rice. Just the storage situation and running back and forth while cooking and trying to figure out where all my utensils are, where all of my seasonings are, then running to the bathroom to put stuff in the sink over there, and then trying to, it's just been crazy. Cooking is challenging, but it can be done. I just feel like I'm all over the place. I just wish my stuff was closer together. But this is our giant mess. It's just it's a store all for the moment. It's a mess. Once we get our silver shed in the back, hi babies, I'm trying not to step on you. So this building right here is where my husband keeps all of his tools and stuff like that, like extra paint, tools, that kind of stuff, warehousey kind of stuff. In the other shed back there, that's where all of the rest of our furniture and things like that are, but this thing leaks. So I don't want to put the stuff that's in that area that looks like really cruddy. The screen enclosure room is what I call it. That does not leak. So I don't want to put that stuff in that shed until that shed is fixed. When all of the stuff is out of this thing, like all of my furniture and stuff that I have in there, my decorations and stuff, we have it towards the center. It's just the exterior by the walls that kind of leaks, but everything else is fine in there. Once things are picked up more, we at least have more storage areas. Just one day at a time, guys. One day at a time. We're not there yet, so it's kind of hard to talk about it. Oh, I was looking for Ruby's little babies, but there's one. There's one baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, Ruby, be nice. Ruby's other baby's got to be around there somewhere. Ruby's a big meanie. What are you doing under there? Are you laying eggs? She just came from under here. Ew. I didn't see any eggs, but that doesn't mean that there isn't one down there. So Hope and Ruby are out, but Bella is not. And the reason why Bella is not out is because Bella has managed to figure out a way to fit through these holes. And I don't mind the babies being out because the mamas will call the babies. But see, for some reason, she can't fit through. So that's good. She tries. Got to give her credit for trying, but she gives up. Bella, on the other hand, has figured out how to squeeze through. And I don't want goats running around the property. So the baby goats, fine, like I said, because mama will call the babies back and they'll listen and they'll come running back. But the mamas, when they start running around, then they end up going over there in their field, and I don't want them going over there. So the only thing that I'm really concerned about is hawks. And so far so good though. Everybody seems to be doing what they're supposed to do and staying close by to their mamas. And we're leaving Lady out here too, so Lady's keeping an eye on them. But I better I see you. I see you, mister. I see you, silly. This is the boy. This is the little stinker. He's a little stinker. And then this one's the little girl. This is Bella's mini-me. And they're so cute. They're my babies. I'm surely going to miss them when they are gone. Yes. But I cannot keep them. I have the ones picked out that I'm keeping. And unfortunately, it's not neither one of these. But they're silly. You're silly. Huh? I hear you, Hope. Silly. Gotta love the baby goats. They're so much fun. Piper and her babies are not over here. I don't want a bunch of babies out. Like I said, because of the hawks, I just get a little nervous having 7 babies running around. But 2 babies running around is not too bad. And I don't think Ruby's babies are running around too much. They tend to be staying in their little shelter area over there. We still have all of this wood. A lot of this stuff is kitchen cabinets that came out, and the plywood is from the old flooring, but this plywood's actually in pretty decent condition, and it's really thick. It's like an inch thick. So we decided that we're not going to throw this stuff away or burn it or whatever. It could be used to build another shelter, maybe a dog kennel, something, anything. I'm not quite sure exactly. But yeah, we have just wood piled everywhere right now. Whoops. But that's kind of what happens when you're in the process of, rehabbing things. You have wood and stuff and just things everywhere. So currently Antonio is pulling the insulation out, getting the rest of the drywall out. Boy, the lighting is bad. That's on chop. And I'm in the process of editing a video, but I've got to get all of this stuff out of here because these cabinets are coming down today. And then over on this side, oh, wow, we got all kinds of stuff hanging here. Crowbars. But anyways, got to get this stuff out of here. Getting there. And then once all this stuff, is this the new stuff? Oh no, that's old. I could tell. Yeah.
I'll keep it.
Are you?
Yeah, it's good.
We'll just suck up that rat poop that's down there on the ground. That's so gross. Golly. But yeah, so just need to put the drywall up. We are removing this door. I've said it a million times, it feels like, but this door is not going to be here after probably today, tomorrow. What are we doing?
See the paneling for the other side.
Right.
Build the frame, but what, I'm gonna leave it open?
Yeah, no.
Because it's gonna get cold again.
Yeah, for sure. So what are we doing about that?
We'll see.
When you were at Lowe's picking... Wait a minute. When you were at Lowe's picking up the drywall, did you look for paneling at all? No, you forgot?
Didn't even think about it.
Didn't even think about it. The paneling that we're talking about... okay, so there's this door here. And as you guys know, this door here comes out into this room right here, which has... This is the exterior of the house, so to speak. I mean, it was. All the screen has been ripped and whatever. There's, some windows. But this is the exterior screen room, whatever you want to call it. But we are getting rid of this door. So in order for us to continue with this, we have to look for the siding so we can put it here. Now, with that being said, eventually in the future, we plan on making not just this room, but also the carport. Sorry for the weird lighting. The carport area over there, we are going to enclose the whole area. Okay, so all of this area here eventually is going to be the master bedroom with the laundry room and a bathroom in here. So a master suite, let's just say. It's like 20, I think it's 22 by 19, if I remember correctly, somewhere around that. So right now, currently, the laundry room is back there and it's super, super small. Like, it is crazy snug in here. The door locks all the time. Not locks, gets stuck. So this is super tight. It is a mess. Lots of deterioration. This whole house has deterioration everywhere. And of course the electric is out here, the main panel. But yeah, eventually this area is probably going to come out. I haven't done the exact math on it yet, but we'll have this come out probably another good 8 feet or so, 7 feet. So the laundry room will be right here. We're going to be raising the ground over here. That's going to be raised up to be level with this flooring here. Come on, lady. And all of the brick and stuff like that will be removed from there, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be completely enclosed from this wall here all the way around. That's a long ways away. That is the least of our worries. We are going to, kind of relax a little bit. But before we do that, we definitely have to put the paneling on the other side of this. And then once we turn that into the master bedroom, we'll take down all that paneling and it will also be drywall. Luckily, the paneling that we have to purchase is a very small piece of paneling, so we're not going to be spending a fortune on then, eventually just ripping it off and getting rid of it anyways. So it's not like a huge expense, but it will be a huge expense to turn all of that into a master bedroom, because then we're spending money on a master bathroom again, doing all that, changing the plumbing up, enlarging the laundry room. It's going to be a lot. And I'm going to let Antonio take a break before we get to that, because he's been working his butt off and I'm sure he'll want a break. For the pantry because we are going to be just opening it probably about 7 inches or so, 6 or 7 inches, just a little bit, because that door is very narrow, and we are going to be putting a barn door there eventually. All of the drywall is out there. Sorry for the lighting, you guys. I don't know why it's acting up like this. But anyways, he just took the trim off the top of the cabinets. And now the cabinets are going to come out, and I'm going to not record this, and I'll be back when they are out. Alright, the cabinets are down. Now it's just getting off this drywall. We have extra insulation up in the attic, so we'll be adding that to, you know, this whole wall over here where it's really just pretty nasty. You can see all of that stuff has just been really moldy and gross. So all of this is coming out. The stuff over there is not bad. There's no mold, nothing like that. Just some rat poop that we need to vacuum up, which I'll probably get to that. But I'm gonna clean up all this stuff for him. And we're a quarter of the way through. Right? Yeah. Alright, so at this point we just took the beams off that were here. There was a 1, 2, 3. We're going to remove this one right here. Of course, we're going to replace those once the time comes, which will be probably one of the first things that needs to be done. After they come out, replace these beams. Then put in the insulation, check to see if anything else needs to insulation, like over here. We're leaving the window frame for right now because we are not ready to take out this window and install the door. So that's going to stay. There's a goat messing with a plastic bag that had alfalfa in it. We put the plastic bag there because of the water that was coming in. We need to remove it, but goodness gracious, she finds, look, she's gonna pull it out. Look at her. What a stinker. Look at her. That's Bella. In case you guys are wondering which goat that is Bella, mama of the bottle babies. Anyways, that cracks me up. The window's gonna stay until we're ready to do that. So all that framing has got to stay because we don't want, you know, an open space right there. And then we have to figure, I don't know, how tall is that door? Do you know? We're going to have to redo the header, right? That door. It's definitely going to come up higher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember how tall it's going to be. But anyways, we're going to have to remove that header when the time comes. We'll get to that when we get there. And then we'll have to put in a new header. We're leaving that backer board just because we're going to be putting stuff over it. And there's no mold on that or anything, luckily. So that seems to be okay. I told you she was going to take it out. What a stinker. Let's see, is she running with it or what?
Yeah, she's right there.
Yep, she took it down. She's licking it. Goodness gracious. basically with this area over here, I measured the whole length from the edge to the opening, and I wanted it to be halfway. So it was 16 inches total. So we did 8 inches because I still want a little bit of, you know, an overhang. Not an overhang, I don't know what you really call it, but of a wall from the inside. I don't want it just being completely open. So at least it'll be a bigger space. So when Bella pulled that piece of plastic out, she pulled out the rotted wood with it. So now we have to at least put a piece of 2x4 there or something to hold the window up a little bit, because there's not much holding up that window. Just, you know, more added work to do, that's all. I'm sure he's thrilled with all the extra work, aren't you? Yeah, show me yours. Mad face. Oh, that's really mad. What did you just say that we... I turned off the camera and he said that wasn't his mad face, that was his psycho face. I think he's going crazy. Oh. Goodness gracious. Before we start working on anything else, he's got to fix the gap underneath the window because we have a lot of rain coming in tomorrow. And this was just actually an extra piece of wood that was just outside. We have tons of that laying around, and this was sitting right here. That was sitting there. And he's just going to put a 2x4 going up and down just to make it stable. This window frame is absolutely just complete junk. Look, there's so much termite and moisture damage, and I mean, it's just really nasty. So there is absolutely no point in trying to screw or nail anything into that. And we finished cutting out the extra 8 inches. Now, you know, some people might say that's a lot of work for just, you know, moving it over just a little bit, but to be honest with you, this is from here to here, gosh, I don't know, maybe 2.5 feet. Gonna be putting in new shelves, and we're gonna put a cabinet in here. He has to run electrical through there and stuff like that. Like I said, having this extra space over here is just gonna be nicer. It's gonna be easier to get to this stuff over here in this corner, down in the cabinet. Once a cabinet is here, it's going to be easier to get into that. I might do some shelving on this side of the wall also. Oop, again. Every time I start recording, a piece of wood falls. Well, that's all right. Once you... Yeah, there you go. Yep. Indeed. Okay, so the temporary window fix is done. There's 2 2x4s. We put some plastic there. Just did a little incline in the back, so hopefully all the water drips towards the outside of the house. But yeah, now he's cleaning up the stuff here. And then he's gonna put the right size beam to go on the top there, and we'll worry about all of this stuff. And then when we get to that, we'll get to that. But there's not going to be a door there until we get the barn door. So everything's just going to be open and exposed, which kind of stinks because I have no idea when he's going to have a chance to make the barn door. But unfortunately, it is what it is, and I'm going to have to suck it up. So I will. And that's that. What are you doing over there?
Playing with electricity.
You're capping off an electric wire?
No.
What are you doing?
Put it in the box for the garbage disposal.
Oh, okay. Is that wire hot?
Yep, really hot.
I asked him just a second ago. He came out with his little reader, his little meter reader, to find out if it had electricity in it, and it did. And he goes, "Oh yeah, it's hot." And I said to him, "Well, aren't you gonna turn off the electricity?" And he said, "Nope. I will test my luck." Isn't that basically what you said? You like playing with electricity?
I love it.
So, anyways, he did not get electrocuted yet. I don't think he will, because he capped him off.
That don't mean nothing.
It doesn't?
Nope.
Right, because the wire plastic coating could be broken somewhere, and then you could touch it, and... zzz, yeah. Well,
Oh, good.
what'd you do? You dropped it, didn't you?
Nope.
What did you do? What'd you do?
Hold on. I'm trying not to get electrocuted. It's on, but it's stuck on. There it goes. A little bit more.
Oh, good gravy.
We need to put something here because this is dripping water here and there.
All right. What do you suggest?
The moment nothing. The moment I'm gonna put this in.
For all my electrical friends out there that like to see people play with live wires.
Living a wild side.
Oh yeah, he's a wild man, all right. This man right here. My wild, crazy man.
We're looking like the guy from Home Alone. Turned into a skeleton.
Mhm.
That thing was a
Your hair looks like you might have already stuck your finger in the electric socket.
I probably did.
Wasn't that box already there? Or something electrical was there, right?
No, nothing.
So how'd you run the electric there?
It was over here where the washing the.
Oh, the dishwasher from the other side. Gotcha.
It's supposed to be about this tall, but this all the wire I got. So this one was not.
I'm sure it's fine. It's just for the garbage disposal, you said, right? Why would it have to be that tall?
It doesn't have to. Codes. I don't know.
Possible codes. Good thing we're in the country.
But usually, like I've seen some crazy stuff like that. Under the sink, they put it high and they put it low.
Right. Yeah, so this house did not have a garbage disposal before, so we're going to install a garbage disposal. It's just going to be a nice little added feature. And he might possibly add a water line to go over the stove, right? You're still working on that, possibly? Maybe or no?
I don't know.
If he can run a water line to go over the stove so I can just easily, turn on the water valve spigot to fill up pots and stuff like that, that would be great.
You want to show people how this works?
But if I can't, why don't you? But if I can't,
This is a cool little device.
that was a little cheap device, wasn't it? Wasn't that like from bargain bins or something? Oh, I thought you found that at bargain bins.
So all you gotta do, turn it on, and you just put it on the wire.
And red is hot?
Yeah, see it?
Yeah, oh, I see it. Ah, I see.
I'll tell you which wire is the hot one. Oh, the neutral, you still gotta be careful with the white one.
How many wires do you have down there? It's hard to see. Oh, there's 3. I thought I only saw 2.
Neutral.
Oh,
So yeah, so it tells you.
oh, I see.
It tells you when it's hot.
Uh-huh. Cool.
Then you gotta go get a meter.
Yeah. That's a nice small little,
It's quick.
yeah.
Okay, when it's hot, I'm gonna go play with it.
Yeah. Unless it's you that likes to play with fire. Speaking of fire, you might want to...
Need more fire, more fire.
Our house is a mess, you guys. Please don't mind the mess. I got dishes on tables and stored in the kids' room. I've got a wide open wall for my pantry. Last night, Antonio said that he saw a couple of little itty bitty mice. Oh, just one? Well, either way, 1, 2, 5. Well, 1 is definitely better than 5 for sure. But he said that,
Most likely he's got friends.
yeah, they always have friends. But apparently, some little guy ran from there. I'm talking about a mouse or little itty bitty field mouse. And he said that he ran down there. So, you know something that we should do? Yes. How'd you know I was going to say that? Foam it all. Yeah, we're going to have to at this house. Yeah. But yeah, we are going to spray foam every little crack and crevice. We don't want them getting in the walls. We don't want, if they're underneath in the crawl space, like, we'll just have to kill them under the crawl space. But I'd rather know that they can be killed under there rather than coming up through the bottom of the floor, getting into the walls, chewing wires, because that's what they did previous owner. That's some of the issue that they had with electrical and all other kinds of stuff. So we are definitely going to do our best to prevent any of that kind of craziness going on in here. But one day at a time, right? We'll definitely do that before we put the drywall on. You'll notice my stove and everything's kind of just all over the place, but the door has been taken out and plywood is now in. That wire is going to be moved. Well, I don't know when that wire is going to be moved, but it has to be moved soon. I'm waiting for my girl Crystal at Lowe's to find out kind of where the stove is located so we can make sure that the wire comes in. All right, so the stove wire runs up through the attic space and it was coming down through the drywall. But when the drywall was still on this wall, he had to pull the wire out and run it somewhere. So he just ran it up through the side of the ceiling. We have to patch that anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. But he wants to move that wire, so that wire is going to come out, because originally it went, like I said, through the drywall, okay? When this was outside, the plug, the wire went underneath the door here. So it didn't really cause that much of an issue because the wire is flexible and could have moved. Because it was loose from not being behind the drywall. So we need to figure out the dimensions from the corner cabinet here to where the new stove is actually going to go. My stove, if you guys remember, is either that box or this box. I'm not sure which one, but my stove is in one of those, and then the dishwasher is in another box. We'll get all that stuff figured out and squared away. Today's Monday, Martin Luther King Day, and nobody's around. Nobody's open to find out that exact dimension. So probably have to wait until tomorrow. I'll probably hear from her. But yeah, so that's what we're waiting on there. I'm still not sure if he's going to be running a water line or not. He needs to know exactly where the stove is going to go to know exactly where to run that water line, because you want the water line to run up directly in the middle of where the stove is. So he can't just put the water line anywhere. It has to be in a specific spot. And I'm not 100% sure where that is either. But once I figure that out, he will be able to figure out whether or not he can run the water line. And I think he can, but he's just not able to do that yet. So we cannot get the drywall up until we know where all that stuff is going to go.
So I'm doing all the little stuff now.
Yeah, so he's just doing little stuff now. So that's probably going to be pretty much it for today. He could probably put that piece of drywall up there and finish this spot. I'm talking about
yeah, I could
the header and the drywall up there.
little pieces. So I could do that.
Yeah, he has a piece of drywall that he can... First, he needs to put the header back There's a beam that needs to go up there, and then the drywall is going to go just up there on the top. Hey guys, this is just a small update really quick. The door has been removed. It's been framed properly. And as you can see, there's plywood on the back side, and we'll just go out here really quick. I said earlier that the plywood was temporary until we're able to come out here and do this paneling. But we actually, golly, I would hate to say that we'll probably keep this here, but we might. Why spend the money on paneling if we know that 6 months down the road we're just going to turn it into the master bedroom? Or even if it's a year down the road, I mean, it wouldn't kill me to look at that for a year, to be honest with you. I've dealt with the inside of the house for 7 months already. So I mean, if that has to stay here for a while, I prefer it to be like that than honestly spending the money on the paneling. We got to get rid of the door. But as soon as the inside is complete with, you know, all of the kitchen and the flooring and stuff like that being in here, or at least the kitchen cabinets, then I can start organizing some of those boxes out there, which would be really nice to not have to put, you know, this is the essential stuff that we use, not the cans. The cans are here because I had nowhere else to put them. But we have, you know, a set of plates for everybody, my kitchen utensils and stuff there. Luckily, we still kept this cabinet so I can put some stuff in there just to have some place to store things. But we're getting there. I just got the dimensions on where the stove is going to go on the wall, and the cabinets over here are going to be about 36 inches. Then she put like a 1.5 inch gap between the cabinet and the stove. Stove is 36, I'm sorry, the stove is 30 inches. So with the extra 1/2 inch of drywall on this side of the wall, once the drywall gets in, you have to account for that extra 1/2 inch. So it's the electric plug for the stove is going to be at about 53 inches. And that's also where the water line will go, because that would be the dead center of the stove. And that's where you want that water line to be. You don't want it to be off-centered or anything like that. If we're going to do it, it's going to be at 53 inches. We did this wall here at 10 feet. And this wall over here, I gave her dimensions of 11, and I think it was like 11 3/4 inches. Just to have like that little extra. She needed a little extra room, and asked me if I can give her any extra space. And I was only able to give her a 3/4 of an inch. But hey, 3/4 of an inch is 3/4 of an inch. And I'm glad that I did. It gave me just a little extra space there to work with. But it did take away a little bit from this, but that's okay because we're going to be cutting into this wall anyways. And we're cutting this side, not this side. And that's what we planned on doing anyways. So that's not a big deal. But yeah, that's what we're going to be working on today. I believe he's just going to be putting in the electric where it's supposed to go and trying to get that water line ran. The only problem that I see is it is wet outside. It just downpoured this morning. So I don't know how wet it is under the house. But I don't know. That's up to Antonio whether or not he wants to do it. But it is going to be in the 20s the rest of the week. So I'm sure he's going to want to get under the house and do that today and get that over and done with, rather than dealing with 20-degree weathers. Because right now it's 50 degrees outside, so it's still chilly, but it's not nearly as cold as 20. 20 degrees is, yeah, it's pretty chilly. And it gets really windy here. So obviously if he's under the house, he doesn't have to deal with the wind, but it's going to be even colder underneath the house. So anyways, we'll keep you guys updated and let you see what we're going to be working on. All right, so we were able to get a few things done that I have not showed you guys yet, so I figured I would take today. It is Saturday. It's a good day to kind of show you what's going on. Antonio was able to run the plumbing properly. He changed out some of the plumbing stuff with these guys here. He also added in some new electrical, which is going to be this down here for the that's the dishwasher, and then also down here for the garbage disposal. He added an electrical outlet over here on this side, and he added an electrical outlet there, the water line for the fridge, and moved the electric for the stove. Actually, obviously, we have some drywall over here on this side. So we were able to get everything done on this side of the wall, including the insulation. All of that has been done behind that wall. He put the plywood up. And if you guys are wondering, he had to run electric up there as well. And that is for the hood vent for the stove. And this right here is the water line for the pot filler. We were debating on whether or not that was going to be able to get done. And it was actually a lot easier than he had expected. But then again, it was a lot more of a pain in the butt at the same time. It's like it was easy to run it from this location to that location because of the distance, but because of everything that's under the house between pipes and what else was under there? There's like a lot of big pipes under there, and yeah, just the crevices, the confinement, figuring out where the hole was, and you know, it's just a pain in the butt. But he was able to get it done, and then also trying to figure out like where the stove is gonna sit to get it even and spaced properly. I did the best I could with the dimensions that Crystal gave me, and I drew out basically the length from where the cabinets are going to go and where the cabinets should finish. You'll see right here, there's a marking here. The refrigerator is basically going to come out this far, and then the cabinets come out about this far. So the fridge obviously comes out a little bit further. But anyways, trying to get those dimensions correct, and you know, he had to run the water line. If you guys know what I'm talking about with the pot filler, it has like two arms that come out. The total length when it is completely extended is about 23 inches, but when it's folded, each arm is about like 11.5 inches. So there's two different ways that you can run the pot filler over your stove. You could either have the piping, like where the first arm, let's say, the immediate arm where the water would go through, you could have that centered with your stove, or when it's folded, you can have that folded area centered with the stove. There's, like I said, it's two different ways you can do it. It's just basically a preference thing. Honestly, I don't care. I just want it. So if it's not perfect, the only person that's going to care really is the next person who has this house if we end up selling it. And even then, I think it's going to be pretty dead on that nobody's really going to even notice the difference, to be honest with you. Today we're taking a break. I don't know if he's going to do it tomorrow or not, or if we're going to just start back up on Monday. But he's done with all of the electrical, and everything that needs to be done over on this side has been completed, at least until the drywall goes up. Then we'll finish putting the coverings and all that other stuff. But drywall, I believe, is ready to go on that wall. I think we're going to end the insulation at this post right here. That way we can get the drywall at least to that point. And I think we're going to stop. Do as much as we can with finishing the drywall over here so we can get the cabinets and stuff in. Anyways, I think that's what we're going to do because we're not quite ready to put the sliding glass door in. And there's still things that we're working on. We still have to fix something with the floor. I'm waiting for some jacks to come in that I ordered from Home Depot because the floor is still squeaking and not perfectly straight. And we don't want to use a ton of the self-leveler. I mean, we are going to have to use self-leveler, but we don't want to rely on the self-leveler to give us all the leveling. We want to keep the floor as level as possible, so when we do the self-leveler, we won't be using a ton of it. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, that's going to be it for this portion of the video, and we'll get back to you when we get the rest of the drywall done. All right, I just want to give you guys a quick update. Got the paneling off of up there, got all that drywalled. All the drywall is pretty much done, except we have to do a final coat, a final sanding. And then once this final sanding is done, then we can prime it. And we also got the roller to do the texturing on the ceiling here. So we're going to do that. Gonna finish up on that. We're getting there. It's taking a little longer than we had expected. But, you know, it is what it is. I did get my my pot filler.
Liquid glass.
So my pot filler faucet came in, so I'm happy about that. And I got I ordered my sink, some pendant lights, a light for the hall, which you can see down here. It's kind of just open. So I ordered a nice light for down there, 2 pendant lights for over where the island is going to go. That light right there might be moved. Not 100% sure what's going on with that thing yet. I'm either going to do a can light there or, like I said, I'm just not sure yet. The sink, oh, the faucet for the sink. We'll see how that goes. I'll give you guys an update on that. I ordered one from Temu. It was like $34, but it looked really nice. So I said, you know what? Let me just give it a shot. If I don't like it, I could always return it. I've never returned anything to Temu before, though. And then if I can't, I guess it wasn't a total waste, but maybe it'll be a nice faucet. And then I've only spent $34 rather than $100 or more, because faucets aren't cheap. Actually, it'd be more. I think it was like the one that I was looking at was like $150. So faucets are really expensive. I got a good deal on the sink. It was a white farmhouse apron sink. Home Depot normally carried it for like $512, I think it was. And I got it for Valentine's Day sale, whatever, for $2.99. So really glad about that. That should be coming in soon. Next week, I'm going to be getting the cabinets ordered. And once I tell them they're ordered, delivered, getting it scheduled for delivery, I talked to Crystal. She said as soon as I let her know, she could have them either the same day or the following day. So today is January 27th, I believe. The kids have been home since the 10th. That was their first day back to school after winter vacation. So as you can tell, we're still in the process of getting this stuff done. The flooring took a lot longer than we had expected because we ran into that issue over there in the corner by the fireplace. And we're still kind of dealing with a small issue over here. But hopefully once we do the self-leveler, hopefully that'll level some of the stuff out. We'll see. This fireplace is really a challenge. And I've been trying to find videos on how to fix a settling fireplace. And even that is kind of a challenge, to just find something that here's the worst part about all this, right? So when they started seeing cracking, the previous owners, obviously they filled it, right? You see how, like, that's a huge filling gap that they put there. I don't know what it is. It could be some kind of cement, or so they filled the cracks in. So in order for us to fix that, it seems to me that we've got to rip all of that mortar out, raise whatever needs to be raised. Because look at this right here. Look at this. It's so, like, just crazy uneven. But if you look at a distance, it looks fairly straight. Nope, this needs to come up just a little bit. That needs to come down just a little bit. It's just a mess, you guys. Thank goodness they didn't fill in any of this stuff here. Because once we, try to jack that up a little bit, hopefully that'll fill some. But we're definitely going to have to take this mortar out, which could cause some issues with those bricks. But we could always put those bricks back in. So from the videos that I've watched, hopefully that's not that much of an issue. Any kind of problem can arise from taking out that mortar. I just don't know. Everything underneath, like pilings and joists and stuff like that, that's all been corrected. Just needs to be leveled a little bit better. We know that there's a spot kind of like right here in the ground that may need to be leveled a little bit more. So hopefully once we kind of jack the center up, it'll be fine. The crazy thing though is when you put a level on the top here, it reads that it's level. But the floor doesn't look level. It's just kind of crazy. Because like I said, when you put a level on the top, it sits level. It's showing that it's level. This spot right here is level-ish. Oh, goodness gracious. I just want things to look nice. We'll get there. But yeah, I just wanted to show you the update of the drywall in the kitchen. How we're almost ready for cabinets. Once the cabinets go in, then we will, I believe, start working on the flooring. Now he's going to go outside and mess with some of the fencing. Over back by the fence line behind the pond, there's a decent sized gap of barbed wire fence that's been broken. So he's going to go back there and try to fix that. And maybe we'll let the cows out for a little bit so they can chomp on some of that grass / hay that's there. So they'll enjoy that because their grass supply in that section that we did over there is starting to diminish. So we want to be able to let them out and eat some of that good grass. I say it's good grass. It looks like it's dead grass, but that's exactly what hay is anyways. It's just grass that's been sitting and dried out. So the grass that's out there, they'll really enjoy that because it's basically just hay. There's a lot of little painting things that we have to do. He has to, finish up this wall here and this wall over here. Not sure exactly what we're going to be doing. I want to do shiplap on this wall here just to cover up this the paneling. That wall, if you guys remember, this was all paneling as well, but we filled in that paneling with drywall mud. So before we really start painting anything, we have to put one more layer of the drywall mud on there, sand it off really good, and then we can go ahead and just paint that wall as normal, and then the shiplap on this wall. That's why I was really hoping that we don't have to, cover up any of this brick here. But if we can't get those cracks fixed and make that look nice, we're going to have to figure out something else to do with that because we can't just leave it like that. It's not aesthetically pleasing. Today is ceiling texturing day and wall painting day. So I'm actually in the process of putting up some primer. Once the priming's done, we'll get the cabinets in and stuff like that, and then I'll paint afterwards, only because I don't know what I want to do yet, and I don't want to get ahead of myself and paint a color and then not be happy with it. All right, we got the first layer of the texturing on the roof. I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but there you go. And our walls are primed and ready. There's some spots I have to touch up, but yeah, starting to look like a kitchen. And this is where I'm gonna end this portion of the video. It's been a long video, so I just want to make sure that the next part of this video is going to be more of the exciting part. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this. I know that we don't do a lot of how-tos, but it is just a process, and it's a lot of work, and it's really hard, especially when you're not used to doing this kind of work. It's not something that you do as a job. There's a lot of preparation that goes into it, a lot of thought, a lot of effort, and yeah, it's a lot. And there's some people that can handle all of that stress of, you know, taking your time, getting things done, recording, showing people how to do it and stuff like that. But there's a lot more YouTube channels out there that know exactly what they're doing, and we don't want to give you guys any false information either. So here and there we might show you guys some things on how we do it, but if we're giving you a how-to video, it's because it's something that we're knowledgeable about and we feel confident and comfortable with sharing that with you. So yeah, again, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and until next time, we got a lot more coming, so stay tuned and we'll see you then. You guys be blessed. Bye-bye.